Hey guys, thanks for watching. Welcome to my channel Saumya's Bookstation. On this channel, I spread all the book love that I can. So if you like my videos, please like and share them and subscribe to my channel. And please do not forget to press the bell icon so that every time I post a video, you get notified. So in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and dispel myths or misconceptions that I have come across as a reader about the habit of reading, about books, about readers. Do not forget to let me know in the comments section what are the misconceptions that you have come across in your life that are related to the habit of reading or books or readers in general. I would love to hear from you guys. So let's get into the video. The most common thing that I've heard people saying who obviously don't know any better is that books are boring. People often tend to think that the books that we read as readers and the textbooks that we have to read that are a part of our syllabus, our curriculum, are just the same. It's like I've heard people saying that why should I read another book when I already have so many books to study from? Well, these are two different kinds of books. When people think like that, they are missing out on so many good books. They're missing out on so many good stories, even non-fiction books. It's just not fair. Another very annoying misconception that I have come across about reading is that I've heard people saying things like that reading is a luxury, that reading is an activity that only rich people can indulge in because they have time and money at their disposal. Now, as somebody who comes from a middle class background, this is kind of offensive to me because I know that I have all these books only because I control my expenses on all the other things, not because I have to, but because I love books more than anything else. I've heard quite a few people say this, but one of the incident that I remember very clearly is that while traveling in the metro one day, I was standing right next to the two girls and they were not really keeping their volume in check. Also, it was a cramped space, so one of them was talking about how happy she was after reading a novel. So the other girl, instead of encouraging her, she snubbed her and said that why are you reading? Don't you have anything better to do? Reading is something that only people who have spare time can do. People read because they love to read. After I started my booktube channel and my bookstagram account, I came to know of a lot of readers who regularly mention this in their posts, that how they're saving up to buy books, how they are not purchasing this and that so that they can buy a particular book that they have set their eyes on. A lot of people are managing their finances to be able to buy books. A lot of people make regular trips to the library. So it's kind of demeaning the very habit of reading, that it's only meant for people who have nothing better to do. Please, it's not like that. Another misconception is that you can be considered a reader only if you read books. I have seen people literally disregard their habit of reading just because they are not into reading books, but they read blog posts and newspapers instead. You are as much a reader as the next person if you love reading. It doesn't really matter if you are into reading newspapers and blog posts and not into reading books. Reading as an activity has a very wide range. You don't really need to be confined to a book to be considered a reader. Also, another thing that I would like to add on here is that if you love reading graphic novels and if you love reading comics, they also count. Another very common misconception that people seem to have about readers is that if you are a reader, you are going to have a nerdy or a geeky personality. Well, as the world has opened up, this is proving to be more and more untrue. I have seen quite a few Bookstagram accounts where the person who runs that account doesn't look like a typical reader. A typical reader or a nerd here being somebody who wears thick rimmed glasses and who has that quintessential geeky look. This is not a very problematic kind of a misconception, I believe, but it does exist. I've seen people who do not look nerdy or geeky but are ardent readers. They often face remarks like that you don't look like the type of person who would read a book. You cannot judge somebody by the way they look. A person is much more than how they appear to be. Quite a lot of times people have asked me that where are your glasses? You are a reader. Well, maybe I don't wear glasses, or maybe I don't prefer wearing my glasses. Just because I'm a reader doesn't mean that I have to sport a certain look. Another misconception that a lot of people, especially non-readers, seem to have about readers is that readers are intellectuals, that readers are some rare species who can derive enjoyment from books because they are gifted with an ability that non-readers don't have. After running a booktube channel for quite a while and after reading quite a few books in my lifetime, I can tell you safely that a lot of times it's not the intellect that you need to read a book, but the patience, considering the kind of books that you pick up sometimes. And also, as far as the intelligence of the readers, well, that's very debatable. On a serious note, I would like to say that when people pick up a popular book or a book that is considered to be very acclaimed and they're not able to enjoy it, they often put the blame on themselves. Some things work for you and some things just don't work for you, and the same goes for the books. The last misconception that I would like to dispel in today's video is that a lot of people seem to think that only non-fiction books can impart knowledge, that it's worthwhile only to read a non-fiction book and reading fiction is a waste of time. Some of the best life lessons that you might get come out of fiction books. And as somebody who reads both fiction and non-fiction, I can tell you that your experience of reading is incomplete if you don't pick up a fiction book once in a while. Reading fiction is a very wholesome experience, and once you read a good fiction book, you will not be able to deny that yourself. Guys, please do not forget to let me know in the comment section any misconceptions and myths that you would like to dispel that surround our lovely reading community. I would love to hear from you guys, and just let me know how many of the misconceptions and myths that I mentioned in this video are something that you are able to relate to, something that you heard people saying in your own personal life. I hope you like this video, and if you want to connect with me on my social media, then the links are in the description box. I'll be back with my next video super soon. Bye!